Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Rack Chat, where members of Raconteur Press talk about books and other cool nerd stuff. My name's Mike. My pen name is Spearman Burke, and with me is our publisher, Ian McMurtry, aka LawDog.
Hello.
What are we going to talk about today, Ian?
Well, apparently it hath been decreed we will talk about plasma pulp.
Plasma PULP. Oh, by the way, sorry, folks. With me, as she usually is Bubbles, who will no doubt want to participate with loud shrieking. Isn't that right? Yeah. See? There you go. Well, yes, because Plasma PULP, Lost Worlds opens October 24th for submissions. So,
as we're getting this started, I would like to point out that plasma pulp is our name for it.
Right.
Because a whole bunch of us have a certain case of the hips at adding punk to everything.
Yes, I agree. I'm one of those people. I'm right there with you because I think adding punk onto everything is just, I don't know. It's so clown punk. It's clown punk.
Technically, this is supposed to be Adam Punk or Ray Punk.
Well, I think Ray Punk is the
we call it plasma.
Call it.
It's plasma pulp to us.
Yeah, I don't want to jump on that bandwagon. I like plasma pulp because it suits us. So, and when we think of it, and the theme for this particular anthology is Lost Worlds, not necessarily that it has to be about a lost world, because we just stick cool names on the end of our books because we feel like it. But Sword and Planet is part of that plasma pulp aesthetic, yes. Right? So, one of the things we were thinking about talking about is like what kind of stories or books has that aesthetic, right? Because the classic is Burroughs' Barsoom stories, John Carter of Mars.
John Carter of Mars. Most of Burroughs' Sword and Planet stuff, there was a lesser known series that I thought was every bit as good, if not better sometimes, called Carson of Venus.
Yes.
You had Carter of Mars, John Carter of Mars, you had Carson Napier. Carson Napier, was that it? Carson Napier.
I think so. We have the internet. We have the ability to find out.
We're going to go with Carson Napier of Venus. And it was basically John Carter again, just on a different planet.
Yep. Carson of Venus. Boop. Absolutely. Carson of Venus is actually the third book in the series.
That's the overall series title, though, right?
But yeah, that's kind of what I call it. Yeah, Carson Napier. Good call.
The think pudding does work every now and then.
Yeah. Well, and it had a lot of the similar themes.
Yeah.
Right. And it had just strange things. He's getting used to new cultures, having to fight his way through. You could argue that his Pellucidar series is also a Sword and Planet, even though it takes place on Earth.
Yeah. Yes. Mainly because it was the inspiration. If you read comic books in the 80s, Mike Grell should have been a god to you.
Oh, yes, he was.
But Pellucidar was the inspiration for his Warlord series.
Yeah, Travis Morgan,
the Warlord.
Yeah.
And remember, at Sword and Planet, we're looking for spaceships and fuse.
Yeah.
Swords and ray guns. Shiny bodysuits and loincloths.
And bubble helmets. Yeah, and just because Lost Worlds is the theme doesn't mean your story has to be a Sword and Planet Lost Worlds story.
Well, remember, okay, for Plasma Pulp, our be-all, end-all will always be 1980s Flash Gordon, right?
Yeah.
That is your standard Sword and Planet. And how many Lost Worlds were there on there? He was bouncing in that one movie. He bounced between about 3 of them.
Yeah.
Or Earth being the 4th.
No, that's good. That's good to throw in there. Man, I'm trying to think of what other comic books would be kind of plasma pulpish from when I was a kid.
the Flash Gordon comic books.
Well,
Yeah, well, no, not Dur.
I mean,
It's not. So some of them. Okay, Flash Gordon has been in many, many different incarnations. And I remember in the 80s reading a novel series, Flash Gordon. It was not Sword and Planet. It was space opera. It was full-on space opera. So just because we say Flash Gordon does not necessarily mean it has the Sword and Planet we're after.
Yeah.
And get Buck Rogers, the first Buck Rogers speech, I can has it, was an apocalyptic wasteland.
Yeah.
It wasn't the Buck Rogers we think of now. The initial Buck Rogers was, after the nuclear war.
Yeah. It was technically like a post-apocalypse type story.
Exactly.
Yeah. A book that Ben Yallo gave to me that I thought was just suits Plasma Pulp to a T is one by Lee Brackett, and it's called Sword of Rhiannon. And I cannot believe I've never read this book, and I think you haven't read it either.
No,
you need to read it because it's got everything that we would geek out about in one book. And it's Sword and Planet, it's science fiction, it's fantasy, it's got sorcery, it's got gunplay, it's got piracy on the high seas. I mean, it's got time travel, right? The hero starts, he's kind of like this, not necessarily a thief, but he's kind of a shady Indiana Jones kind of guy on Mars. And he's and he breaks into this old like vault or something under a hill, and it exposes him to this old Martian god that sends him back in time on Mars, where there's oceans and stuff like that, and all these kingdoms.
Oh, wow.
And then there's like different races of people, right? In the past. So there's like a snake people that has all this magic technology and different kingdoms fighting each other. And he's got this magic sword that's got the soul of Rhiannon, this god in it that's trying to take him over. And, and it's got the romance angle with him and the princess.
Yes.
And they hate each other's guts like through the whole book. It's great.
No, and we want damsels, but we don't. Remembering that squirrel, glow stick.
Well, Deja Thoris.
Yeah, was not necessarily Shrinking Violet.
Yeah, she wasn't girl boss, but she wasn't helpless either.
And then there, John and Deja's daughter was Thuvia, Maid of Mars, was every bit as good with a sword. So we like beautiful damsels, but capable is good.
Yeah.
Remembering your hero has to have a chin. We need that. We need the thews and the chin. And good guys. Let's have chest pounding good guys. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then and bad guys. Make your bad guys bad. And quite honestly, space Nazis are always good.
We don't need swastikas, guys. We don't need swastikas.
No. Chisel the serial numbers off. Yeah. Space communists are good. If you want to have, evil space squids, sure.
That's what's good about having aliens. It makes it easier to be racist. That's terrible. How awful. Like in reality, think about it. Like human beings would be like, those guys have too many arms and they're not us.
Yep. One of the first books I ever wrote a long time ago, and no, you will probably never get to read it. The bad guys were these bipedal octopoids, 8-foot octopoids.
Nice.
Yeah, they had legs and then three tentacle arms off each shoulder.
Octopods that are 8 feet tall is a little on the nose, don't you think?
Yeah, well, yes. That's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons I wrote it that way. I was not a very complicated child, and it took place on the inside of a Dyson sphere. So I geeked out, and I calculated how much inner surface there would be. And I put all sorts of stuff in there. And the hero had a sword and basically a radium flintlock because I'm a geek.
Nice.
Yeah. And, the entire inside was full of oxygen. So he would sail, across on an open deck, and there were boarding
Yeah,
actions and everything. It was
that's
terrible.
neat.
I
I
loved writing
kind
it.
of
It was a terrible book.
well, and there's you can do any. I remember what was it? John Varley had a series of books that. Oh man, and it was about you would travel. Was it a ring? Not the ring world, but it was a like a ring habit. I think it was a habitat ring, but it was like
Okay.
I don't know. It was like a mix of sci-fi and fantasy, but the fantasy was the technology that allowed them to do this stuff. And there were centaurs and things like that on this.
That
Um,
sounds like Ringworld by Niven.
hmm. Maybe I'm thinking of different. Maybe I'm getting my stories crossed. At any rate, all that
Yeah,
stuff works.
it
Is my
happens.
point.
Yeah.
Um,
But important thing is when you write it, have a good time, because
yeah.
the reader can tell if you're having a good time writing it. Give us good guys, beautiful damsels, bad guys who lose.
I like it when the bad guys lose.
Yeah. Well, there's been too many books here recently where the bad guys win, or not necessarily win, but the good guys don't. Hell, there's been several HBO series where the good guys never win.
Well, the trend has been like this thing where your bad guys have to be relatable and
No, they
your
don't.
good guys have to be so tragically flawed that it's like there's this idea that a noble heroic aesthetic or ideal, we shouldn't have that because then I would have something to strive for, right? And if my Batman is like psychotic, then I'm okay too, right?
Well, we don't hold to that.
Yeah,
We want a hero that people want to strive to be.
right.
Fuzzy
And that's
loincloth
not
and all.
Yeah, that's not saying that the heroes have to be perfect, but they have to
Oh
be
no.
trying. There has to be some nobility there in the
Yeah.
effort.
Yeah, they have again an ideal, and ideals aren't perfect. But when you write it, give us good guys who are good, bad guys who are bad, and get shot in the face or stabbed.
Yeah.
Or shot out in airlock. I'm punted off into the sun. I don't care as long as the bad guys lose.
Um, Shifting lanes on you, I just thought of another movie that might have a plasma pulp aesthetic. There's this movie called Zathura, and it's kind of like Jumanji, where these kids find a game in their
Oh yeah.
house, but instead of like taking you to the jungle, Zathura takes you into outer space, and there's Zorgons and robots, and the
Oh,
aesthetic of the movie and that game is very much that
I like it.
50s plasma pulp
I like it.
vibe. Yeah, it's that movie's a lot of fun. It's called Zathura, and
I'm gonna have to look
just
for it.
oh yeah, oh man, the it's again similar. I think it's the same writers as Jumanji, or if they were books before they were movies. But the kids take turns, and every turn something more awful happens, right? And their house is floating out in the middle of outer space.
Oh, I've seen
right?
clips from that. I've seen
Yeah.
clips. Speaking of clips, some parts of heavy metal.
Ooh, yeah,
Some parts of heavy metal. I will caution you, if you've never seen it, it's not safe for work.
no,
But particularly the last one with the what's her name?
Tarna,
Yeah,
the
Tarna.
Tarna, yeah.
The last one is very Sword and Planet.
Yeah. Well, but the whole movie you could argue is plasma pulpy enough. I mean, oh, okay, yeah. Well, and because now I'm thinking of the old heavy metal magazines, and
I didn't read the
there was
magazines much. The
Really?
the movie we got stateside about the time the movie came out. I think it was available when we first got to move back to States permanently, and that was a bit of a mind-blowing experience.
Did you ever see the magazine called Epic magazine,
Not that I
or
recall.
Epic Illustrated? I can't remember. It's a similar publication.
Was it?
Yeah. And also, well, and it had all kinds of stuff, fantasy, but reaching back to those aesthetics is kind of like, what we're thinking about as far as what we would be looking for, or you specifically as the editor of Plasma Pulp Lost Worlds will be looking for.
Probably screaming for help halfway through it. I hope you know.
Oh, here's one. Robert E. Howard, right? Definitely pulp.
Yeah.
But did you know, and people are going to argue about this, his last published book apparently was a Sword and Planet story called Almeric.
I did not know this.
Yeah, I think the hero's name is Esau Cain. Yes, it is, Bird. And he's like a man who's out of time in a sense that like he's born too late, right? He's like stronger than the average human being. He's a big wrestler and boxer and fighting man, and and he gets transported. This scientist transports him to, I can't remember the name. Oh, Almeric, I think, is the name of the planet, and it's a very harsh, jungle world, and he's got to fight these guys in an arena, and he becomes their friend because he's so badass and tough, right? And
sounds very Robert E. Howard.
The bat-winged people that rule the land from their big ebony tower kidnap his girl, right? So he leads this army of people to the citadel, the
Sword and Planet,
right? To whoop it on. Now, the interesting thing about that book is it was actually, I think it was published after his death, Robert E. Howard's death. And there are people who will argue that he may not be the actual author of that book. Maybe Jason Waltz knows more about that, but I'm not here to argue that. I still think the book is awesome. You should read it anyway.
My squirrels lost a glow stick halfway through that. I had another. Glory Road, Heinlein's Glory Road.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, has
I could go for that.
Yeah, it has quite a few Sword and Planet aspects to it. Not all of it, much like the movie Heavy Metal. Not all of it is Sword and Planet. Heavy Metal's got quite a bit of noir in it. The taxi driver, very noir.
Heavy Metal's got quite a bit of nudity in it.
Not safe for work, like we said, but the segment with the taxi driver is very noir.
Yeah.
Very noir, as Americans say, noir. Glory Road's got some parts in there that are very space opera, but it's got some parts that are very Sword Planet. Lady Vivimus in particular.
So I think we've touched on what you're kind of looking for as far as the story aesthetic, right?
I hope so.
Well, Lost Worlds evokes the Sword Planet, even though that's not a necessary element. It could be a Lost World Sword Planet story.
But as long as you get the feel.
Yeah,
the feel of the gets the feel.
Yeah, that Plasma Pulp, Buck Rogers, Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
Kind of feel to it. I think you'll get it. Now, keeping in mind that a lot of our authors are going to be inventing their own worlds that these things happen in, what's something you're not looking for out of this?
One thing?
What's something or things? We got, there's time.
Okay. First off, you may want to invent a world. It's not necessarily necessary to give me 4,000 words of world building.
Yes.
let the title of the anthology do most of your world building.
Yeah, because one of the trends we see, and this is all our anthologies, is the lengthy exposition that explains the world before the story starts. And often the story starts 2 or 3 pages into the manuscript.
The one I read last year, it was 16 pages in before the description stopped. And folks, one, Sword and Planet is action.
Yeah.
Sword and Planet is one of the reasons I love it is its action. There's not a lot of world building here. It's if you're not punching bad guys in the face by the 4th paragraph, or at least drawing a sword or a radium gun, don't care. You might take out everything before your hero gets the radium gun. Okay.
Yeah.
These need to be punchy. You've got 5,000 to 8,000 words to give us a nice crunchy snack. Not we don't want a lot of meringue. We don't want a lot of calf slobber on there. We don't need the candlelight dinner and the wine and the 14. No, it's a burger. Let's get to it.
Yeah, can we bite into get to the meat?
Can we get the meat now?
Jesse Barrett's writing an article for us this week talking about those kinds of things as well. And, you know, sometimes we call it the hook, you know, you can call it what you want, but it's got to give the reader a reason to care and to keep reading. Like as an editor, sometimes I'm asking why should I keep reading this?
Yeah.
So your opening should give me a reason to get excited. Yeah, exactly. Get excited about the story, your character, what are they doing? And, you know, something that gives me a flavor of what kind of story I'm about to read. Right.
If I'm about to get into the second page of your manuscript and I'm not hooked yet, I'm probably not going to read any further.
Yeah.
Just to be perfectly honest.
Right.
Because if it doesn't get my attention, it doesn't get a reader's attention. If it doesn't get a reader's attention.
You got about 500 to 1,000 words to make me care.
Sink that hook in there. And these are nice, tight, crunchy snacks. People are not picking up a novel, guys. They'll do that on their own. With these, they're picking up a box of ding dongs. This is a box of Twinkies, guys. Each story is a Twinkie. Let's get to the creamy goodness. We got 5,000 to 8,000 words, and that's it. Not a lot of story building. Let the title of it and the intro set your stage. Yeah, add a little, but let's punch him in the face. Let's go.
Someone's going to submit a story now. The first punch to his face happened as the Thark's fourth arm rammed right into his eye hole.
Okay. I like it already.
Right? I'm digging this story.
Digging it already.
Oh. Well, and that's something we talked a little bit about the Legend Haven thing this weekend too, is, you know, crunchy, you know, let's get to the action. And that's pulp, right? That's pulp fiction is, you know, something that gets right to it, right to the action, start giving your characters an obstacle to get over, you know, right away. And that would be the common thing I know all of us see as editors on the press, that stories that don't make it, right? That's a very common. I'm the editor, and if you haven't gotten my interest with it, the first 2, maybe 3 pages, I figure you won't get the average reader's interest either. And if they're not going to read it, they're going to return the book. Yeah.
And like I said, this is not a 14-course meal. It's not a novel. It's a box of Twinkies. Let's get to the creamy goodness.
Oh,
I have no idea where I came up with that analogy.
I got worried when you said something about a box of ding dongs. I was like, I didn't know we were that kind of show. But
you know, it's just, you know.
Well, and you know, getting back to the themes, it could be anything. It doesn't have to be a lost Earthman on a planet. It could be Mill SF, but with crazy ray guns and, you know,
swords and ray guns.
Yeah, space pirates, or, you know, something, whatever, you know, grab your fan.
If Star Wars wasn't so damn space opera, and if Leia spent more time in the bikini, it would be Sword and Planet.
Well,
you got swords and ray guns.
Yeah, there is an argument to be made that the word Jedi comes from Jedak, from the Barsoom stories, right?
I can see that he stole a whole hell of a lot more. Everything he didn't steal from Kurosawa, he stole from Buck Rogers and Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
There is nothing about Star Wars that's original. And by the way, those reviewers who bitched that John Carter of Mars was stealing from Star Wars made my head hurt.
That's their ignorance. Well, and here's the thing. Every writer is talking to the writers who went before them, right?
Yeah.
Like, so, you know, I think there's a great example of, was it Starship Troopers, right? and John Steakley's armor is a
Oh,
conversation
yes.
between John Steakley and Robert, and Heinlein.
Yes. I'm Stakely dying. Just
Yeah.
we lost a hell of an author when he died.
And authors after that who have those kinds of stories are having conversations with those, Forever War, right?
Yeah.
Is a conversation with those writers in the past about, hey, here, and I remember Forever War is not Plasma Pulp, but
No.
The point is, it's okay to use elements of stuff that you grew up looking at. We're telling you what to use in the stories that we're looking for from comic book, Travis Morgan,
And please don't restrict yourself to just what we're saying. If there's something else out there that fits, grab it.
Yeah,
grab it. Grab it and squeeze the life out of it all over your page, please.
What's the worst that could happen?
We don't contract you. That's the only bad thing that's going to happen here, guys, is we don't contract you.
Oh, very well. Well, gang, we have a couple minutes left, but I think we've pretty much beat this horse right down into the ground. The Plasma Pulp opens on the 24th. The closes for submissions on 5th of December, and it will publish January 23rd of next year.
And please write it. If you what you think's a good story in your head where the bad guy gets punched in the mouth and kicked off into a sun, write it. Send it to us. The worst that'll happen is we'll tell you to publish it on your own. Either way, you'll have a story. Publish it for 99 cents on your own if we don't publish it. But go ahead and write it.
Well, I was having a conversation with TC Ross at Pecan, and we were chatting with another author, and she very much agrees that writing short fiction disciplines you to keep your prose compact, right, and get the elements of story out in a 5,000 to 8,000 word chunk instead of blathering on and on and on. So by all means, hone your craft. Yeah. Submit a story. Have someone review it.
Submit it. Write it. Submit it. If we don't publish it yourself for 99 cents and keep all the money. Either way, write it.
Yeah. We need good stories, and we need good storytellers out there.
We need good storytellers out there. Like I said, even if we don't publish it, you'll ask Mike. You'll have done better than 99% of the people that say they're writing. All right. 99 out of 100 people say they're writing, never publish anything. As soon as you publish your first 99-cent short story, you've done better than other 99 folks.
You're published. Congratulations, everybody.
And as soon as you get your first check and buy your first cup of coffee, you're not a professional. Because that's the definition of professional. You got paid to do it. I am now a professional writer.
We're getting into rant territory, folks.
Point. It's
hey,
so
gang.
easy to get me off on those.
We hope you enjoyed this discussion on things we're looking for Plasma Pulp, Lost Worlds, edited by the LawDog himself. And check us out next week. We'll be having another discussion with someone new or about something else that blows our skirt up.
We'll have another discussion up next week. And who the hell knows what we'll be talking about then?
Again, we don't know what we're doing.
We don't have a clue.
All right, gang. Thanks a lot.
Y'all be safe. Where the hell it is?
This won't be on air. No.